You assume ruin comes from outside. A crash, an enemy, a headline, wrong map.
Ruin rarely explodes overnight. It seeps in quietly, through rooms you enter willingly.
Not physical rooms, psychological ones, built from habits, screens, people, and permission you grant.
These places feel safe, familiar, normal. That's why they are lethal.
They don't break your body first. They dismantle your ambition, your clarity, your power.
Today you'll walk through 6 rooms quietly ruining you, while pretending to be comfort.
Listen closely. Your mind absorbs environments like lungs absorb air, without asking permission.
What you breathe daily becomes your standards. Your standards become your decisions. Your decisions become destiny.
Every room wants your attention, your energy, your compliance, your future.
So choose wisely. Because geography isn't only cities. It's the psychological soil you stand on.
Room 1, the Martyr's Court. The echo chamber where grievance becomes currency and identity.
When you fail, you look for nods, for sympathy, for someone to say, "Not your fault."
It feels like therapy. It is sedation, a warm blanket over a bleeding wound.
In this court, excuses get polished into philosophy, and accountability gets called betrayal.
The economy did it. The algorithm did it. Your childhood did it. The system did it.
Your pain gets validated. Your agency gets erased. That trade feels fair until years pass.
Everyone is bleeding in that room, yet nobody reaches for a bandage or a plan.
They reach for an audience because performance earns praise and repair demands courage.
Here's the trap. Comfort becomes a paralytic, and paralysis begins calling itself self-care.
Pain is the only teacher that doesn't lie. This room numbs the lesson before it lands.
You stop asking, how do I weaponize this? You start asking, who can I blame?
And the moment blame becomes your language, your ambition starts starving without making a sound.
Worse, if you win, you threaten the group. Your escape proves the cage was unlocked.
So they keep you sedated with sympathy. Sympathy can mimic love. It is still a leash.
How do you leave? Brutally. Swallow the loss. Own your part. Learn without drama.
Replace complaint sessions with debrief sessions, measured by actions taken, not emotions performed.
Speak about battles only with people bleeding in the arena, not spectators collecting excuses.
Exit the Martyr's Court fast, before victim becomes your personality and your ceiling.
Room 2, the Court of Flattery. The place that praises your potential, not your execution.
You think flattery is medieval servants? No. It's modern applause without proof.
Parents crown you special for baseline effort. Friends applaud ideas you never tested.
Followers reward your announcement, not your output, not your scars, just the story.
Your brain can't tell the difference. Dopamine rewards talking like winning, even when you're losing.
So you become soft, predictable, satisfied with applause instead of results that survive pressure.
Flatterers don't protect you. They protect their access to you by protecting your illusion.
Truth would force action. Action would expose weakness. Weakness would change the hierarchy.
That's why they say, "You're amazing," instead of saying, "Show me the numbers."
Here is how the blade dulls, Praise lowers your defenses and hides your blind spots.
Reality waits patiently. Then it strikes with a freight train, because myths shatter on impact.
Your only way out is controlled feedback, ruthless rooms, thin air, surgical criticism.
Choose advisors who can wound your ego precisely, then prove the wound with evidence.
Ask for truth deliberately, not constantly. But when you ask, demand specifics.
Train yourself to crave standards, not compliments. Output, not approval. Execution, not aura.
If praise arrives before sweat, label it poison and return immediately to measurable reps.
Leave the court of flattery early, before applause becomes your addiction and your downfall.
Remember, the most praised person in a room may be the next sacrifice for entertainment.
Room 3, the sanctuary of hypotheticals. The clean prison where potential dies politely.
It looks like progress. Whiteboards, courses, tabs, notebooks, strategies, perfect timelines, endless tweaks.
You call it optimization. It's hiding. Hiding from judgment. Hiding from rejection.
Nothing is real there. So nothing can embarrass you, correct you, or force growth.
Perfectionism isn't excellence. It's fear wearing a suit, pretending to be high standards.
You're terrified of the beginner stage, the ugly reps, the public mistakes, the clumsy sentences.
So you build castles in theory and refuse to step into mud where the game is played.
You measure the river forever, calculating velocity, while the flood rises and timing disappears.
Fortune is a violent river. Calm days are for dams. Storm days demand decisive force.
Theory collapses the moment it gets punched in the mouth. Reality doesn't read your notes.
Here's the escape. Aggressive strike. Launch at 70%. Then correct fast, relentlessly.
Ship the draft. Publish the prototype. Pitch the offer. Let the world hit you back.
Those bruises are data. Data turns anxiety into competence, because competence is earned under pressure.
Stop saying, one more week. Set a deadline that forces contact with customers and consequences.
Momentum forgives mistakes. Paralysis forgives nothing. It records your avoidance like a ledger.
Trade pristine spreadsheets for messy reps. Reps create skill. Skill creates confidence that doesn't bend.
Put something real at risk today. Risk is the price of becoming dangerous.
Exit the sanctuary by being seen. Not after you're perfect. Now, while you're still learning.
Room 4, the Hall of False Equivalencies. The comparison trap built into the endless scroll.
You compare your raw behind the scenes to someone else's edited highlight reel and call it truth.
You see the cars, the lifestyle. You don't see leverage, patrons, debt, luck, or cost.
Then you copy their methods without context, chasing trophies you never chose for people you don't respect.
Envy becomes your compass, and envy is the ultimate thief of strategy.
Because envy makes you abandon your strengths to imitate someone else's theater of success.
That turns you predictable, a second-rate version. And second-rate versions get slaughtered by originals.
You start buying symbols to project status you haven't earned, instead of building capability that prints status later.
You pivot because a trend is hot. You abandon your edge because someone else looks impressive.
Here's the cure: ruthless tunnel vision. Treat others' wins as data points, not moral verdicts.
Strip emotion. Deconstruct coldly. What mechanics did they use? What context enabled it? What did it cost?
Borrow principles, not costumes. Build a playbook that fits your weapons, constraints, and advantages.
Set metrics tied to your mission, not aesthetics, not applause, not whatever the feed worships today.
Reduce exposure to triggers, fewer envy inputs, fewer impulsive pivots, more controlled focus.
Run your track longer than feels sane, because mastery is boring before it becomes magnificent.
Comparison is useful only when it sharpens decisions, never when it shames identity and bleeds energy.
Leave the hall of false equivalencies before you salt your own earth and sabotage your strongest edge.
The moment you stop looking sideways, your aim becomes terrifying, and your energy stops leaking.
Room 5, the Chamber of Indebtedness, the favor trap that buys your autonomy cheaply.
You're tired. A door is locked. Someone offers a key. No strings attached. Lie.
The trap snaps shut quietly. Gifts create collars, and collars pull your choices without you noticing.
Power isn't only swords. It's ledgers, IOUs, favors remembered, debts called in at midnight.
The rescuer today can become your owner tomorrow, with one sentence and a guilty look.
After everything I did for you, that line bends spines faster than threats ever could.
Guilt weaponizes your morality. It turns good people into obedient prisoners who call it gratitude.
You stay in toxic jobs, draining partnerships, abusive dynamics, because your psychological ledger says you owe.
Nothing is free. If you don't pay with money, you pay with freedom. If not effort, dignity.
Your escape is fanatic independence. Pay market price, suffer delay, take stairs over their elevator.
If help is necessary, define repayment immediately, in writing. No romance, no ambiguity, no future chains.
Settle debts fast. Lingering obligation edits your decisions, makes you self-censor, makes you smaller.
Never let a benefactor become a veto on your values, your partners, your pricing, your direction.
Learn to say no without exploitation. Explanations are openings for negotiation and control.
Become the creditor when possible, not the debtor. Give strategically, receive rarely, repay immediately.
A person who owes nothing fears no one, because fear often enters through obligation.
Exit the chamber of indebtedness before the chain becomes your identity and your daily operating system.
Freedom is expensive. Obligation is more expensive because it taxes every future choice you make.
Room 6, the altar of public opinion, the transparency panopticon, the fastest suicide machine.
You crave acceptance, so you explain boundaries, apologize for ambition, and beg to be understood.
The crowd isn't a judge. It's weather, shifting winds, short memory, emotional hunger, unstable.
Approval feels like safety. Disapproval feels like danger. That tribal wiring is ancient and irrational.
Today they praise you. Tomorrow they need a spectacle. When boredom arrives, they demand blood.
If you live fully perceived, you hand strangers the remote control of your nervous system.
One comment becomes a leash. One rumor becomes a test. One apology invites another demand.
The mob smells hesitation like blood in water. Then they push until your boundaries collapse.
Here's the exit. Stop correcting narratives. Stop defending yourself. Build results in silence.
Let them call you cold, greedy, changed, arrogant. Keep building while their noise burns out.
To be relatable is to be average. To be understood by the masses is to shrink your edge.
Reputation is a shadow. The body casting it is discipline, competence, and consistent execution.
Review the map. Grievance, flattery, hypotheticals, comparison, indebtedness, public opinion, 6-room stealing agency daily.
You cannot outwork poisoned soil. You must amputate environments that dull your edge and drain your time.
Cut without apology. Accept the emptiness and use the silence to finally hear your own voice.
Now choose. Which room will you exit today? And what ruthless room will you build instead?